Look at these puppies. Out patrolling by themselves. That's awesome. Got 5 of them. One of them is Hilda. I can tell that much. What? What? This is Red Boy from Marigold. Patrolling by themselves, coming back by themselves. I think those are all Bobby Joe babies. Yep. That's correct. So Hilda leading the way. And let's see. Who's who? We got Purple Girl. We've got Green Girl. Oh, wait, no. So we got Black Girl. We got Orange Boy, Green Girl, and Red Boy. That's awesome. Come on, puppies. Look at these 2 little ones. It's midday, and they're poking around in the pasture all by themselves. Can't tell who that is from afar. Look at all these puppies out there. We got a couple of adults. I think that's Luann and Rye. About this time is when everybody starts coming back in from the pastures. Puppies there. Puppies there. I think I hear a few at the barn as well. It's my beautiful beehive. Good morning. So Ladybird is just coming out of heat. This is the first day I've let her out amongst everybody. The boys are still protective. Hey, enough. That's Ladybird, actually. Stop it, Duke. Duke, stop. She's definitely not happy about the boys anymore. Good morning. Look at this pledger clay. So weird. All it took was a couple of decent rains. We got less than 2 inches altogether between the 2 different rainstorms we had. But this crack right here is nearly sealed itself up. It's an intense type of clay. There's some new growth in this pasture. I'm gonna have to really manage how these animals are grazing these pastures, since they're trying to recover at the moment. Look, there's a nice little patch of green grass. That's ridiculous, but yep. It's a nice patch of green grass. Thanks for fertilizing it. Alright, these puppies are going to start a full round of deworming today, in fact. I've got to go grab the medication for them. This poor ewe right here is getting pretty skinny. She's an older ewe. I may have to pull her from our flock. I've been keeping an eye on her for a little while, and she's definitely getting worse. Oh, hi, little Julep. This is a heifer of mine. She's real sweet. Hi, Julep. Hi. No pets this morning? Okay, you're busy. That's Marigold playing around. It's all good stuff. Seeing their parents happy. You calling your baby? Hi, Juliet. You are such a good mama. Get away from her baby. Scooter, what are you all about? You're so upset. I came out here because someone was screaming bloody murder, and it was this guy. Scooter's being kind of funny right now. He's being real lovable. Every so often, he gets in the mood. I sure do like this goat. He's not an escape artist. He likes to hang out with the sheep. He's not too much of a pet, but he is friendly. There's Pico. Here's little red boy. He's a leaner. You like to lean, huh? Yeah. He's a sweet boy. Little red boy. He's sweet. Big old babies. Those are two Marigold puppies. These puppies are about to explode with the growth. There's Rye. There's Daddy. And here's Orange Boy from Marigold. I'm actually thinking that Red Boy may have become a little bit bigger than Orange. It's so funny how their sizing turns out. You can estimate it when they're puppies, but it's never guaranteed. So my husband is beginning to build me a fence. I'm gonna have a yard. Yes! Finally. You just have to complain enough, and then you can get your husband to build you a fence. It's the cutest, tiniest tusk in the world. Show me your tusk. Look how little it is. Such a little bitty tusk. Sweet girl. Maple's so sweet. See, I can do whatever I want to her, and she don't care. That's my baby. This has been my best litter in terms of chickens. Better than any other litters I've had. Normally, and this is just how it goes, but normally as they're going through all this training with me, I will have some instances where they'll misbehave with a chicken. And of course I have to reprimand them. And it hasn't happened once with these puppies. I mean, I've done more preemptive type of reprimands, but I've never had any real transgressions with these two litters here. I am just over the moon about that. And remember, these puppies spend 24/7, 100% of the time, they are around chickens. And of course, I'm not watching them 24/7 because that's not possible. But it's that early training that makes the difference. But you have to continue that training. If you lax on their discipline in general, then they'll start to act out in ways that are detrimental to chickens. So this is our stock tank with all of our little goldfish in here, and we've been thinking about putting a filter on it for a number of reasons. First of all, of course, to clear up the water, but we want to be able to get in here and lounge. And yes, even with the fish. Yes, that's correct. I know some people think that's gross, but I mean, what do you think happens when you get into a lake or a river and swim? Same idea. But, you know, with it being a small ecosystem, you do need to filter it so it stays clean enough. And what we did is my husband bought this barrel from, I think, Lowe's. And then I put some polyurethane on it just to seal it. We did some metal paint and primer on these metal bands. And then he also cut a door and put some hinges on it. So inside of here, when you open up, you're going to find that there is a filter in there. My husband also got a nice pump that does 3,000 gallons an hour. And so that water gets pumped from this pipe into the filter and then back out the top and then down into the water. And this pipe is hovering about 2 inches above the surface of the water. So it's not too much of a splash or anything like that, but it does aerate the water. And people don't realize that when it comes to aeration for fish, for instance, you don't need raging water to make that happen. It actually is less effective that way. But a nice smooth sort of a flow like this is perfect for aerating the water. You don't have to aerate water for goldfish, and we haven't done that up until now. And that's just because goldfish do have the ability to gulp air from the top of the water. But of course, it's nice to be able to aerate it for them. Now, the pond isn't perfectly clear. You can see straight to the bottom. It's a little brown looking. The brown in here is really just some tannins from some of the leaf matter that's fallen in here from the trees up above. So once I take all this water out, fill it back up, we should have some nice, beautiful, crystal clear water. I should probably also scrub the sides of the tank as well. But in the end, I think what we're really going to do is take this tank out of here because it's just a 6-footer and replace it with a 10-footer. There's Duke. So right now we've got Red Boy from Bobby, yellow. This is purple. Oh, we got another one over there going to the restroom. That's, I think, black. And we got Black Girl. We got Green Girl right there. Got Black Girl. Hi, little Black Girl. And we've got this puppy, and I think that is Silver Girl. So I think little Orange Boy from Bobby Joe is not with us. He's back with the chickens. Ugh. This was such a bad drought. Tell you what, when it comes to Marigold's puppies, Yellow Girl does not take any crap from anyone. She stands up for herself. Green Girl's like that too. to say though, when it comes to Bobby Joe's babies, she's definitely got some good all-around puppies. I wouldn't necessarily say that we've got any puppies who seem to specialize in one thing or another. I've been so happy with this group. There goes Bobby Joe. There's a puppy way out there. I am very curious as to which puppy that is. I think that's a marigold baby. Come on, kids. See how talkative these marigold babies are. Hi, puppy. Yep, that's Orange Boy. The marigold. Look at you doing your job. That's awesome. Good boy. You're such a good dog. So since we're getting to the point where people are going to start picking up their puppies, let me go ahead and give you some recommendations as far as, how to be prepared with your puppy. So starting with deworming. Of course, your puppies will be dewormed. They are currently going through a full round of deworming at the moment. As far as what type of medication to use, over-the-counter medication works great. Now, I do recommend using something different than what I'm using, just to account for any type of parasite resistance that may have developed in their systems. That's always a possibility. Another thing I recommend is taking time to show your puppy around. Take your puppy on a walk. Now, let me start by saying that these puppies are not leash trained. I have far too many puppies to go through that training with them. That's something you'll have to do for yourself. Now, you don't have to. Personally, my dogs are not leash trained, but if you do want to make it easier on yourself for vet visits and such, then leash training is a very helpful thing. Taking your puppy on a walk is going to help familiarize them with the territory that they are new to. And this is also a good time for you to do a bit of boundary training. Inevitably, they're going to test the boundaries because they don't know what their boundaries are. And when you see them get too close to the fence or start to act as though they're going to cross the fence line, that's a perfect time for you to do a little bit of a reprimand. When it comes to boundary training, especially, I really do like shock collars. And yes, they are puppies, but at the age that you get them, you can definitely use a shock collar and it will be very effective for you. You don't have to turn the shock collar up to the highest level of shock at this age, but boundary training is one of the most important things. I mean, if your dogs don't respect their boundaries, you are going to have such a hard time. And if your dogs get the idea that it's okay for them to leave your property boundaries, well, then they're also in danger of being shot by somebody because they've trespassed onto their property. Who knows what, being hit by a car as well. Just don't let it happen. In my opinion, the best thing is start young on those boundary training problems. Now, I am not experiencing those boundary training problems with these puppies, but they were born here. In a new location, they don't know what their boundaries are. So that's how you can start to experience those problems young. And, well, it's harder to fix those problems when they're old. You will find that they bark at your animals initially. Not all the time, but these dogs are smart. And they know the difference between my cows and your cows, or my sheep and somebody else's sheep. And so it's just something new and different, and so their natural instinct is to bark at it. And of course you can tell them not to. You can go, nope, hey, and you can do the snap as well. Now try to be more serious sounding. I mean, I sounded a little bit serious, but you can sound a little more serious. Start practicing your low tone growl voice. When it comes to verbal reprimands, you gotta be serious, otherwise they won't take you seriously. There goes Scooter being crazy. Yesterday I went to check on the livestock and this baby was so passed out that I thought he was dead. I even lifted his head and shoved my finger in his mouth and he was non-responsive, but he was just sleeping really hard. Totally freaked me out. It's Green Girl. I'm sorry, no. It's yellow. That's black. That's yellow. You're starting to get bigger. I think she's going through a growth spurt. There's Orange Boy. He's a good looking dog. And he has minded very well lately. I mean, they all mind pretty well, but sometimes puppies are really excited to please you. So they're very excited to do exactly what you want. Yellow Girl, that is definitely her, for sure. And Orange Boy, he's started to exhibit some of that. And these are very independent-minded dogs, mind you. It's nice to have a dog that's really excited to make you happy when you tell him no.